Yeah, that's the best I can do. Hey, this is Larry Joe with Guitars and Cards. Today I wanted to talk about two things. I wanted to talk about why I do my channel, and second, why I haven't made a video in, I don't know, it's been almost 2 months. Um, I fractured my elbow right there, falling off the ladder and doing something stupid like 2 weeks ago, so I can't play without it really tearing me up. But I played a little bit there, so that's actually more than I thought I could do. Um, yeah, first I wanted to say why I do my channel. I do my channel because just like you guys, in 2020 with COVID, everybody was out there searching YouTube, and when I was looking at everything, all the different guitars and reviews and everything, I always saw two categories: pump and dump. And what I mean by that is pumping, which means that somebody will take a guitar that maybe not that good, it's not that good in quality, and then they would pump it up. Like a lot of guys at that time were pumping several different guitars: Firefly, Harley Benton, and I had guitars before that. Around that time, I bought some Harley Bentons and some Fireflies, and a ton of other guitars that were out there for like next to nothing. So what I didn't like is some of the guitarists out there plug into one of these things, just rip through it, and you can't see what they've done to the EQ or the mix or anything that they're doing. You can't see any of that. Whatever happens with them setting it up is whatever happens with them setting it up. So they would make, and there was like several guitars that were just like ripping through it. They were great guitars, but you put a crappy guitar in their hand, they're going to make it sound pretty good if they have all the stuff that they can adjust for the sound, and they can make it look good. But in actuality, when you get it, it's not that good. And the first Harley Benton and Fireflies that I had, was just like that. I got it and I started playing. I was like, man, this is not exactly worth the money that I spent for it, or the shipping for like the Harley Benton stuff. So and then the next thing you know, one or two of the guys pumping these guitars have their own guitar from that brand, But yet at the top it never said subscribed or sponsored by or any of that stuff. But obviously the companies were paying them to say these things. I didn't agree with that. Okay, that's the one side. The other side, there's guys who'd be like, this thing is a total piece of crap. And some of the guitars that the different guys were saying were pieces of crap, I played through them. They were not pieces of garbage. They're not terrible guitars. Whether they were Harley Benton or Firefly, they weren't terrible. They were just, they're not amazing. They're not, oh my God, you can't do better for this for $150. If you could go up to about $70 more than that, you can buy a better guitar than those. That was my take on it. So like I said, you got the guys that go crazy for them, and the guys like just hating on them. Just hating on them. Don't even give them a chance. Don't even anything. So I'm like, I have to find my way in between that, because for me, you have the guitar that I'm playing through. It's a ding today. Anyway, so you have the guitar I'm playing through. I'm connected with my cable into my little Vox here directly in, and I adjust the settings. That's all. I have nothing else going into it. Nothing at all. Just me playing, and it's coming to you. And one of the things I didn't like too is I would see that that so many people would be editing their videos like so much. Like the guy does one riff, you don't see that he makes a mistake, and then you see a little glitch to it because they're editing it and they make it perfect. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to get into too much editing, because I want you to see guitar into amp or whatever I'm plugged into, and then you see it, not different editing and different things are going on. I really dislike that. And a couple of people made a comment saying that I'm very un-YouTube-ish because it's just me playing directly to you. There is no severe editing. But at the same time, obviously the editing means something also if it's done correctly. Right now, I have several videos out there that are a little too long. A little bit of editing would have changed everything, or split them in half, or whatever. And I have a person that wants to edit, so hopefully I can get some videos out there that are more edited, and they won't be so long. More than a couple people have said, "Hey man, the things are too long. You have to shut them. You have to edit them down or cut them in half." And that's solid. I can agree with that. And the last part of this is, or this one is, my first video was a Firefly, and I had some Harley Bentons. Those are not the guitars I was talking about. I'm talking about the guitars that were like back in 2023. Those guitars I bought right before I did the video last year in 2022, not 2020. So when I did the video, I said exactly what I felt. I'm not sponsored. Nobody's paying me to do anything. I have these guitars. I buy them to do the reviews. I don't do tons of reviews of those style of guitars anymore. I'm trying to, but a lot of times maybe that's not the guitar that I really want. So after buying one of those, I have to find a way to sell it and recoup some of my money. So I don't do too many videos like that anymore. I try to do videos of guitars that I really want, and something that's definitely going to make an impact on me. And I didn't have a lot of new reviews or anything, so that's when I started going through all of my guitars, because I have so many guitars that I thought it'd be cool for you guys to see it, because some of these things you don't see those guitars being reviewed very often. Yeah. And what I was going to say next, the last part is, it's summertime, and I'm in Southern California, so it's hot. It's really hot. And if you look at my last videos that were last summer, there's like, you'll see it got broken into a couple different videos because it's so freaking hot that the camera overheated. So I like making these videos, and I can churn them out and try to be at least somewhat diplomatic and honest with them. I mean, my back sometimes hurts because of the chair, but I don't mind doing it if I think that maybe you guys are looking for a certain guitar, and maybe only my guitar review can reveal that to you. But at the same time, it gets hot, so I don't want to do too many of these in the heat. In fact, I have a little fan there. I'm in my garage. Obviously, I'm in my garage, but it gets hot. So you check out some of my videos from last year. Many times I'm sitting there wiping sweat off my bald head and playing at the same time. So I try to get those out to you, but I don't want to be sitting here uncomfortable, sweating, and then the camera overheats and everything. So and like I said, I fractured my elbow. I fell off of a ladder a couple weeks ago, so I'm surprised that I can actually play a couple chords. I haven't been really doing much with guitar because I can't do this without it hurting like crazy. So I mean, I won't be playing too much, and because of the heat, but also because of that. But in a couple weeks, when I start feeling better, maybe it'll cool off a little bit, and I can make some more videos. But I wanted to have the 3 newest guitars that I've got. I have a Zakk Wylde Audio Viking with the Floyd Rose. You can't see it, but it's got a Floyd Rose on it. It's got the pinstripes. That's a hard guitar to find. That's a very hard guitar to find. When I saw it for a decent price, I grabbed it, and then I sold a whole bunch of cards. Shohei Ohtani was doing great before his injury, so I was selling a whole bunch of his guitars to get this one and the Dave Mustaine one. I also got a Ibanez. This is the RG450 EXB. What I like about it, of course, is the taxi cab yellow. I know Ibanez calls it the desert yellow, but looks more like a taxi cab. And after getting that Mustang around that time, that green Mustang, I was looking for a yellow guitar, and I'm like, and I wanted an Ibanez and I wanted an RG, so I'm like, cool. It's really impossible almost to find an S model or Sable model from the late '80s, early '90s. Also, I have this, which is my Angel of Death 2.0. This I sold in 2020 because I needed money to buy other stuff. I sold it to this one guy in the local area. It's got EMGs that I put into it, not those stock Deans that are kind of crappy. It's got those in it. I put those in it. And like I said, I sold it to him. And then I was looking for different guitars on Craigslist, and I saw this for $50 more than I sold it 3 years ago. And I called him and said, "Hey man, I sold that to you. Sell it to me." And he dropped the price a little bit more than what I paid for it. But I think it's an awesome guitar. Yeah, and it plays great. It's just my hand has to be able to play better to really justify jamming on it too much. But it's back in my arsenal for $50 more than I sold it for, and I'm very happy with this. This is a cool looking guitar. You can see the Angel of Death right there. This is made in Korea, which means that it's really good quality. I'll go more into it on the video that I'm reviewing it. The last thing I wanted to say is I bought a Dean Razorback V. If you guys know the Razorback, it looks like the ML, except for it's got the sharp points and stuff. Really sharp. It's almost like bob wire. Those are interesting guitars, but I always like the V ones. It doesn't have the ML where it has this. It just has the fins coming out. So I just got that. I'll get it next week. It'll come in next week in the mail. Hopefully my hand's feeling a little bit better, and I'll review that and these 3 guitars, and you guys will think, hey, that's interesting, which is exactly why I do my stuff here, just so you guys can say, hey, I'm thinking about this guitar. Click, click, click. You're on the internet. Is there any reviews? You type it directly in. I always make sure I will list, whenever I do my listings for the videos, I always make sure I put the model, because you guys are going to be searching for the model. That way you can see the model and you can see it's me coming to you reviewing something. So I think that's really cool. Originally, I was going to do some guitars thing with the name, but like I said, I like selling cards too, and opening up cards. In fact, I have a Bowman 2023 Bowman cards that I'm going to open up. Well, I already opened up. I just did the video, and it's in 2 pieces. My editor split it up, so I think that's the best way, and sped through some stuff. So I'm still going to keep the name after over a year. I'm going to keep the name of Guitars and Cards because I like both. Even though you're going to see more guitar videos, because I like reviewing guitars, and I'm trying to get those out there, like I said. The last thing I want to say is, if you want to subscribe, that would be great. Leave me a comment. Please, if you're going to leave me a comment, don't say, oh, this is wrong, or you should do something else. If you're going to put me down, tell me why. Say exactly why you don't like whatever is bugging you or whatever. I know there's tons of trolls. I mean, it's uncountable the number of trolls on YouTube. So if you want to troll me, say why. Say why you're saying what you're saying. Don't just say something and just leave it there. If it's something that I can change or make better that you might like, I'm willing to do it. It's not a big deal. I like most of the comments. Most people say, hey, it's refreshing to see it, to see you do this review or whatever. So that's the reason why I do it. Also, you're never going to hear stuff like what I'm getting ready to say, but if you don't like what I'm doing, go to another channel. Like I said, there's the pump and dump guys. You can choose one of those. One of them's got a ton of hate. The other one's got a ton of love for something that they're paying them a ton of money for, or a lot of money. My videos, I have a couple of them that went over 5,000 views, but other than that, they don't get too much. But I have a somewhat loyal following. I think they see what I'm trying to do here, and that's the reason why I do what I do. So subscribe if you want. Leave a comment. Be specific. Hit the bell. That way you get the notification if I have another video. I want to review, like I said, these three and the other one sometime soon. Click a like if you want. Everybody's going to click dislike and then not leave a comment. But I say this all the time. If you want to just click dislike, leave me a comment. Tell me why. I try to be constructive. I want to do what I think is what you guys want. I have no problem. But like I said, if you don't like what I'm doing, go to another channel. You can find them. There's tons of stuff out there. So I don't want to be like that, but some of the negatives, it just seems like they should have gone to another channel. So I'm not hyping this. I don't really do Facebook. I don't do Twitter. I don't do any of those other social media stuff. It's just me doing this just so you can see guitars or cards. So I think that's important. Anyways, thanks for your time. It's been 17 minutes so far, which is a little too much, but I think for what I'm saying, I think that's enough. So we'll end it here. So thanks for your time and have a good night. I'm not going to play it out because my hand's hurting, but have a good night. If this thing will work.